Hello, good morning. Hang on. Oh. It's 9:49. Sunday morning. Yeah, Sunday. Who wants to be a trucker? When will I learn? Never volunteer for anything. Don't tell them your name, Pike. The way I look at it, it's easy money. And I do mean super easy money. I'm on a good overtime rate. You get bonuses for working a Sunday. I get my night out money. And it's just a ridiculous amount of money per hour not to do it. So if it's there, I'll do it. And that means I'm a day closer to jacking it all in. You know? Because that extra money goes in a pot. So it makes a difference. Makes a difference. So yeah. So we're just leaving the yard. I've managed somehow. Well, I'm not entirely sure. I got a sneaky, horrible suspicion. I went to fill up with windscreen washer fluid. So I had to buy some. So I put that in this morning. But when I come to open, there's two latches that lift the front grille up. And I always make sure that both sides are latched, because they're a bit stiff on the Mercs, those of you that know, and they don't always latch down properly. So I always double check. And it was only a day ago that I put fluid in there, and I remember A, putting the cap on because it was in my pocket so I don't lose it, and B, I remember pushing the flap, you know, the latches down to make sure both sides were secure. So when I went to open it this morning, one was already open. I opened one and the thing sprung up. I was like, right, okay, odd. Oh, no windscreen washer cap. Strange. So I can only deduce from that some bastards nicked me windscreen washer cap. Bottle cap. Well, I've just left it because it's up high. Nothing. I haven't put tons of fluid in there, and I was going to leave it at that. It goes in for service either this week or next week, and they can put a new cap on there. I think I've had it nicked. Don't know from where. Yard, I suspect. I've had a new windscreen put in. You'd like to have thought they would have cleaned the windscreen after they put it in. But as you can probably see, it's absolutely plastered and shite. Let's put the windscreen washers on, see if they work. No, totally frozen up. -1. So I've got smears across the screen there. The fluid that Mercedes put in is just ditch water, I think. You know, I tend to run concentrated, but without added water into it. I just put the concentrated fluid in, run on that. So I don't know. So anyway, we're going down to the docks, due on at 10. So we've got loads of time. It's 5 to 10 now. Well, there's a load of Canadian geese in that field. Like a herd of them. So yeah, we're going to onto the docks, box off, then a box on. I've got a 20 on at the moment, so I've got to stretch the trailer out, change the pins, get the blood pumping, and then head towards Chesterfield for a 6:15 tip in the morning at a place that I've been to a good few times. So yeah, that's where I'm going. So I think I'll get up to junction 23 truck stop tonight. And, park up in there. Stay. Camera's all wonky. Windscreen's dirty. There. I didn't get as many videos done this weekend as I wanted to do. Just not enough hours in a day. Yeah, just not enough hours in a day. Just, you know, there's no excuses other than I just didn't do it. So yeah, there's a good few up, so you're not going to go, you know. And I think there's a couple of long ones, so you'll have to split them in half. Can't do no more. I don't want it to become a chore. That's the trouble. You've got to be careful. As soon as it becomes a chore, it's the fun's gone out of it. And, the reasons why you're doing it has gone out of it. So we've got the heater on full blast, trying to get a bit of warmth into the cab because it's I forgot to set the night heater to come on for this morning, programming it in, and I forgot to do it, idiot. So instead of it being nice and roasty toasty in here this morning, it's Baltic. Everything's frozen up. Look, they've only just resurfaced this stretch here. Look, and the holes have already appeared. This bit as well. This bit's just been redone. So the first bit they did, then they did the second bit, and it's just, I reckon they just fill the gap, fill the holes with porridge these days. Look, 2 holes here. Yeah, fill it up with some porridge, paint it black, job done. That'll be alright. I feel it cold today. Not normally cold. Yeah, cold this morning though. I didn't want to leave this morning, to be totally honest with you. It would have been I got home on Friday nice and early. I was home by about 12:30 lunchtime. So I had a nice relaxing afternoon. What did we do then? Friday night we didn't do too much. Saturday morning we didn't do too much. Oh, Friday afternoon I went shopping to get all the shopping done. That was it. I did the Tesco's run, get that job done. Out of the way. Meant we didn't have to do it Saturday, which was nice. We went up to snow tracks at Matcham's, which is Kira's going skiing, and she got her boots out of the loft. We found out you shouldn't keep them in the loft. So there's a top tip, don't leave your ski boots in the loft. And that goes for any type of plastic, to be totally honest with you. And it's because of the extremes of temperature. Your loft can go from, like, you know, it's freezing up there at the moment, so -3, -4, or a bit lower depending on what part of the country you're in, up to plus 40 degrees. It's, you know, during the summer. And that plays havoc with plastic. And it alters the properties of it, and it becomes brittle. So luckily we got away with it. Kira got, you know, her boots got away. They're expensive boots, as they would be for the gorgeous Kira. And yeah, got away with it. But we went there because she was frightened that they wanted them checked over, and they do a fitting service and refitted and all that altered. So that was all done Saturday. It was quite nice there actually. I've never been in there. Been past it loads of times, but never been in. Yeah, it was quite. I was surprised how busy it was. Yeah, quite a cool place. And the food looked really good as well. Wasn't Didn't look particularly cheap, but it looked good quality. And then I cooked last night, made a couple of dishes, one for the freezer, one for us. Well, that was about it really. I was thinking about going left then. That would have been a mistake, delivering the wrong box. It should have been on the key. Now I think I've got a heavy box going on, from what I can make out. And I'm going to leave you to it now, because I've got to do a bit of concentrating down here and shrinking and extending trailers and all this sort of malarkey. And I've got to talk to the bloke. I've got some notes, paperwork I've got to hand in. So yeah, all sorts of malarkey. So I will speak to you on the way out, plus the sun's in your eyes. I'll speak to you later.
Feet, go left on the roundabout and take the first exit, A35, Redbridge Road.
1 hour 40 on a Sunday, and there's hardly anyone on the docks.
On the roundabout and take the first exit.
I had to go to two of the areas. Get a box off in one and then the box on in another. And the first one, there was absolutely nobody there. No one. But it was nearly half an hour wait before someone come and lifted the box off. And a similar sort of time in the other one.
After
a bit longer.
Mile, keep left.
It's just... If I was a haulier, I'd be spitting feathers if I was paying the bill. You know? They know that drivers are going to be on premium rate today.
After a quarter of a mile, keep left, then go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
So to keep them waiting that amount of time, I mean, it's fine by me, but that's not the point.
Keep left, then go right on the roundabout and take the third exit. After 600 feet, go right on the roundabout and take the third exit, M271, towards the Midlands.
I've got a heavy old box on. We're nearly maxed out. Hence the reason I'm just working hard to get going. Right, I'm going to sip coffee and make my way north. I said junction 23 earlier. It's not junction 23 at all. It's junction 29 I'm going at Chesterfield. And a bit of a detour as well, because A34 is shut, I believe. I don't know. I think. So at the Basingstoke and across. So I'll speak to you all later on. Hello, time now 12:49. I'm just south of the M4 now. Unfortunately, the A34 southbound is now shut. We're all getting diverted off here. The A34 northbound is down to one lane. But grim news, I think. It looks like there's a fatality, maybe multiple fatalities, I don't know. There's a truck involved, there's a truck parked up. I saw one car which just looked like a tin opener had been taken to it. All the green screens were up, which is never a good sign. And yeah, I don't know. I think there might have been the length of space that these green screens went on for. Probably about 4 or 5, maybe 7 or 8 truck lengths. A lot of screens. It's the old Harris fencing with all green all over them. I think it was a bad day out for some folk today. Didn't record, clearly. Not going to do shit like that. But it just goes to show that you never know. You know, just driving along, before you know it, you're tangled up in something that maybe none of your doing whatsoever. Just wrong time, wrong place. And you don't get home. Not nice to see. I hate seeing it. And unfortunately I see it all too often, all too many times. Yeah. See it too many times. Right on a junction as well. I can only. It's the same old, isn't it? You come up to a junction, no one speeds up, someone pulls out, makes a mistake, doesn't pull out, tries to pull out, and someone has to hit the brakes, and before you know it, there's a pile up. Just see it time and time again, all to do with junctions and slip roads, either coming on or coming off, and it's people need to think about what they're doing.
For 27 miles.
I hate seeing it. Because it's unnecessary. That's the main thing. It's unnecessary. I mean, they don't put those screens up for nothing. Someone died there today. In the last couple of hours. Anyway, we're making progress, albeit slow. Heavy box, the hills. We don't get going too fast. We sort of miles per gallon are well down. I'm going to try and get to the red line and stop, have a break, and then crack on for the last little bit. So probably about another hour or so, hour and a bit, maybe about an hour to the red line. 5 to 1. Let's see what happens. Right, I'll speak to you later on. Hello. Time now 15:24. I've just had a 45-minute break. Back at the red line. Well, I say at the red line. It was on the lay-by just off the roundabout because I couldn't get into the red line. Sunday afternoon and it's absolutely rammed in there. No idea what's going on there. Picking up a fair amount of speed here. Easy, Tiger. So this junction down here is where I normally pick up the M1 if I'm not going to the red line. I thought I'd take a break because it was pushing it a little bit. I probably could have made it all the way up and won it, but you know, I don't need to. weekend we were looking at French properties again, and found a really nice one. I suppose every 2 to 3 weeks we have a good, flick through, see what's available, see what's new on the market, what's been sold, what's come off, and update our wish list. We've got a list of properties that we like the look of, and we sort of, every time we go on, we sort of fine tune exactly what we want, having looked at some French properties now, and knowing what we really want. So it's easier to filter the properties that we're interested in, and they are about, we've got a rough idea of budget as well, and there's two rules of thought. We can either go, right, let's do this and we'll be mortgage free, or we can go, right, we can have a small mortgage, it's doable, and we can have something all singing or dancing, but maybe not as much land. It swings and roundabouts, it's almost like there's always going to be a compromise somewhere along the line, unless you strike really lucky at the right time. The property we like at the moment is one that's like the top of the list. It's got our name all over it, but obviously we can't do anything at the moment. It's a farmhouse, big farmhouse, 4 bedrooms, number of reception rooms, good sized kitchen, totally detached in its own land. Next to the house is another house, so that would be I think that's a 2-bedroom gate, and then across the sort of courtyardy bit there's the old farmyard, if you like, which is all the grass now, and driveway. There's a big stone barn, massive stone barn, that is in fantastic condition. Well, this is where I wanted to be, in that right-hand lane now. I'll come in after, I'll move across after this point. And yeah, and attached to the barn is another potential gate. And the land is 2 acres of paddocks that is currently being used as equestrian, like horses graze there. Do you know what I mean? When you see fields, you see along the road here, you'll see fields, and it's divided up into, like 6 portions, and there's horses that live on those fields, and the owners come and livery them, sort them all out, and you don't get involved, you'll just rent the land, and they pay handsomely for that. So there's that option to do that, and there's also, which is the bit I like, 4 acres of woodland. Which I would be looking at putting eco-friendly wooden camping pods in, totally self-contained, off-grid, and having half a dozen of those to make an income as well. So lots of potential. It's a lovely property, exactly the place that we want it to be. There's the horses on a motorbike. I'm sure he's gonna nick that. Is he? No. It's got lots of potential. It's in really good condition as well. There's very little. You can move in tomorrow. Oh, I'd slow down, mate. Yeah, you could move in tomorrow and not have to do a thing to it. So it is in really good condition. So 6 acres in total. Lovely garden, nice house, 4-bedroom house with a gate, stone barn and the potential for another gate. 4 acres of woodland, 2 acres of grazing pasture. 180,000 euros. 180,000 euros. Peanuts. You just can't do that in this country, you know. That over here, where we live, that would be topping, you know, 1.5, 1.7 million for that sort of property and land. Maybe even hitting the 2 million mark. It's a ridiculous amount of money. You just wouldn't get it. You know, we live on an estate, and there was a house recently sold for £500,000. We live on an estate. It's not even it's a 1980s, late 1970s, early 1980s estate. It's nothing special. It's quite, you know, the gardens are quite, you know, the land is well matured and nice trees and green spaces and all that. So it's, you know, it's nice. But parking's rubbish. The houses are, what is that, 50 years old. Do you know what I mean? They're not, it's not the, you know, £500,000 for a tired old estate house on an estate. Jeez, do you know what I mean? It's mental. Well, it's good for us, you know. But you got to, you know, you got to be willing to take the plunge to move to somewhere like France, haven't you? We are, and that day's getting closer. So the more Sundays I can work, the closer we can go. Not that it makes a great deal of difference me working Sundays, but it just means that we can afford to do things. You know, as I've said before, we're in a really lucky position. It's not bragging, that's just, you know, as I've said to everyone before, I know what it's like to be skint and not have a pot to piss in, and I do mean not having a pot to piss in, not having any money at all. I've been down to pennies before, several times in fact. Always managed to claw my way out. Now we're starting to reap the benefits. So this time of year, and this is the time when people start to really struggle, don't they? Here in the news, you know, people are struggling. They're a bit over. In fact, I was listening to the report the other day. People didn't spend this much this Christmas. You know, people didn't go mental. Which I'm really glad to hear, because you often hear, you know, people going mad at Christmas, and it's like, what? No, don't, please don't. I think I say every year, don't spend what you haven't got. It's just not worth it, you know. It's scary what people do. You know, spend loads and loads of money on the build up to Christmas, so everyone has really nice presents, and then come January you're shitting yourself because you've got the credit card bills come through, and they're more than your mortgage, you know, and it's like you've got to find £300, £400, £500. Don't get me wrong, I've been there, I've done it. That's why I know the pain and hardship that comes from it. Bugger if I do it again. Well, I said, you know, I know what it's like not to have money. And your budget for the week is, you know, what some people, you know, I've spent, you know, when you spend more on a takeaway for the two of you than what your weekly budget has been for food in a week. You know that's. So I do know what it's like to not have money. If you can afford to do it, then fine, that's brilliant, no problems at all. Yeah, I remember being skinned and trying to work out how many meals we could make. How many meals I could make for the week out of a limited amount of cash. You're having to budget for everything you do, like your fuel costs, your bills, make sure the bills were covered, your rent. And you look at what's left and you're going, that ain't a lot. Okay. How do I get 7 meals out of that to the next week? And you just become a bit inventive. It's doable. I've done it. Never went hungry. Never went hungry and I never went cold. It's been tight. You know, where you're budgeting down to the penny. But you just got to be a bit inventive with your cooking. We're looking for the bargains. Ropey. I'm on there. I wouldn't know if that was strapped correctly or not. Wouldn't have a clue. I suppose the more straps the better. We were thinking about all the things that we could do when we get out there. About with we've got space and a barn, holding events. Wouldn't want to go down a wedding route though. We made it. I made it. You know, we both said that is not a thing. You know, like using it as a wedding venue. Beautiful house, beautiful gardens. You know, it'd be perfect for hosting weddings. No, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much stress. You know, we're moving out there for a slower pace of life. I don't want to be. Too many things can go wrong. And at the end of the day, it's someone's big day, in it, and you really don't want to be involved in, you know, in that. I wouldn't. I think the stress for me would be too. Well, both of us would be too much. So we said that wasn't a doer. But if we've got the, you know, if we find somewhere with a big barn that's, you know, that we'll renovate out so we can hold events, I would have no qualms in doing small events like yoga and artist weekends and learning to dance and learning to paint and all those sort of type of things. You know, the possibilities are pretty limitless. There's lots to do, lots of ways of making a few extra rubles. You know, lots of ways to do it. Plus the fact that Gorgeous Q is going to keep working for a little while. So we'll have her income coming in. So it'll only be the bills that we have to pay. We'll have a mortgage. Unless we decide to go down that route, which I don't think we're going to do. But if we do, it'll be on something that's up and running, a business is up and running with geeks and and bookings and ready to turnkey, ready to rock and roll. So it'll pay for itself anyway. Hello, time now 16:40. Just come off the M1 at junction 29. End of the truck stop. Stayed here quite a few times on a Sunday night before. You know, 20 to 5 and it's still light. Decide where I'm going to park when I get there. As per normal, my indecision will no doubt trip me up. Work hard, only 8 miles to the gallon today. So it's down to the roundabout, turn left, a couple of minutes away. on 4 hours and 47 of driving.
After a quarter of a mile, go left on the roundabout and take the first exit, Hardwick View Road.
So I wouldn't have made it in one hit.
Go left on the roundabout and take the first exit.
Nice to get up here in daylight. The one-way system. Now there shouldn't be fridges running there, but blimey, load of Sherwood Jenkinsons in here. They're using this as a yard now. Look at them. Well, I'm going to sneak in between these couple of Jenkinsons here. I can. I'll get in there. Let's go around. There's my man.
You have reached your destination, Hardwick View Road. It is on your left.
Last time I was in here, he was there. I've never seen so many Jenkinsons in here. There's loads of them. Let's go up next to him. Really heavy. Making my life a lot more complicated than I need to be, but I'm trying to blindside it in here, but we'll have a go. Good, looking good. That's where these cameras come into their own. Looking good, so I'll speak to you all later.